And last night marked one of the biggest nights in Hollywood, the Oscars. And as celebrities walked down the red carpet, what was most noticeable was not their fancy evening gowns and tuxedos, but rather their silence. Silence on the hostages, which in itself spoke volumes. And joining me now with more on Hollywood's big night is ILTV's Devo Klein. Devo, so we saw a star-studded event, many people watching from home from around the world. Nobody said a word.
Right. I think that one of the reasons that we even hold the Oscars to this type of standard is because we just had the Grammys, where we had artists like Montana Tucker sporting this big yellow ribbon and just being so vocal. We had a tribute to those who were murdered in the Nova Music Festival. And we've seen this from Hollywood, and the Oscars just couldn't follow up. It's such a big event, and they couldn't spare even a minute to mention the 134 hostages that have been captive and are still captive in Gaza. It's so heartbreaking.
But we did have a director, renouncing his Jewishness or some nonsense like that. We didn't see any yellow pins, but we did see plenty of red hand pins distributed by the group Artists for Ceasefire. These pins actually represent a very sort of horrific, they have horrific symbolism. I mean, what can you tell us about the origins of this symbol?
Right. So the pins are, it's so tragic, the fact that artists can't see this. If they can, I have nothing to say, but a lot of them don't know that the symbolism of the red bloody hand, it comes from the Ramallah lynch in 2000, where two Israeli soldiers by mistake made a wrong turn into Ramallah. When they were detained by authorities there, a mob heard of the story. They came into the police station and they brutally massacred and mutilated their bodies. And the sign of the bloody hand, it's something that I don't think that Western culture really grasps. It's something that is it's very violent, and it's resistance, and it's revenge, and it's horrible, honestly.
And essentially, it represents the murder of Jews,
Correct.
of Israelis. And I really have to ask, do all those wearing the red pin at the Oscars, do they even know what it truly means? And if not, now that they do, and I'm sure they'll hear about it, will they apologize for it? Probably not.
Probably not, but I sure hope so.
All right, Devo, thank you so much for the update. Hollywood has been hijacked by pro-Hamas sympathizers, and the rest of Hollywood simply chooses to remain silent when it comes to the hostages. When Boko Haram kidnapped the girls, every celebrity from Michelle Obama to Emma Watson raced to post a photo with, the sign that called to bring our girls back home. But when Israeli women are kidnapped by Hamas, who share the same ideology, absolute silence. And silence, as we know, only encourages evil to spread. So how shameful for Hollywood to be complicit in this.